Good journey, everyone. Welcome to Space Oats, a Star Wars podcast live. I am the Crucial Crew member, Jay, and tonight we're watching The Force Awakens in honor of something today in Star Wars history. We're going to talk about that and another very um, exciting moment in Star Wars history as well. It goes a little bit further back, but we'll get on that as well. We got some other Star Wars news. A lot of things thrown out there with, Black Friday happening, everybody doing their shopping for the end of the year. A lot of Black Friday deals happened. A lot of which I talked about last week. Don't know if anybody has gotten any cool new merch. I bought a few things. I don't have anything here with me. I'm going to be showing off some of that probably in my live streams in the upcoming week. I have not been doing a lot of live streams. Just been kind of crazy lately. So I apologize for that for those of you that usually try to watch me on Instagram, but it's been kind of tough lately. So that hasn't really happened. So some things getting posted as far as like cool ideas for gifts, and some of those came up, and I'm like, whoa, I didn't even know they existed. I don't know when they came out, and I want some of those things. So I don't know. It's got me kind of excited. So we'll talk about some of that kind of stuff, and then also we have a crucial character pick for the month of November. Probably a character that I feel from the Revenge of the Sith that is the most important character for the Republic side, the good guys side. We're going back to the good guys. Last month we did Attack of the Clones, and I picked a bad guy, but I'm going to go and do a good guy this time for Revenge of the Sith. And I did. We did a little one for I think I did Resistance a couple weeks ago. So yeah, I think I did Resistance a couple weeks ago, but we're going back to the movies. We're going to do Revenge of the Sith, and this is the most crucial character from Revenge of the Sith. Not just like a cool side character that I feel, but this is the most crucial character from Revenge of the Sith. So if you feel that there is a character, good guys, remember, good guys, that is the most crucial character of Revenge of the Sith, go ahead and throw that in the comments, and we'll see if it matches up to who I think. But let's go ahead and get started with Today in Star Wars. Thank you for joining, by the way, whoever is joining in. Throw out your comments. I like to, talk about whatever is on your mind with Star Wars. What are you doing Star Wars lately? Let me know what you've been up to, if you got any plans going on. I keep turning down my volume, I swear, and it keeps going back up. I don't know what's going on with that, but I don't want the sound coming up. I don't want to get in trouble for anything. But like I said, I'm watching The Force Awakens right here tonight because of honor of something that happened today in Star Wars history, and that was the teaser trailer for The Force Awakens, debuting today, November 28th, 2014, drawing over 100 million online views in its first week. I mean, come on, this was new Star Wars. This was it. This was something brand new to Star Wars. We had not seen any Star Wars movies. Now I know why my TV volume was up. I kept turning down my surround sound volume, and I kept hearing sound, and I'm like, why am I still hearing sound? It's because my TV volume was up, which I normally don't have unless I'm having problems with my surround sound not connecting right. But yeah, Katie, hello, welcome, Katie. And Ben, rewatching the entire Rebels series, 2 episodes a night. That's amazing. I wish I had that much time to be able to do that. Yeah, I love the Rebel season. The Rebel season is great. I love that you're up to that. 5 seasons. Don't know where you are in that so far, but man, I love it. Rebels was something that I really got into almost from the very beginning, and I was just hooked almost from the very beginning. The first season was, a great buildup of the characters. You learned a lot about the characters, but man, once season 2 through 5, it was just so amazing. To see all that, and it went everywhere with so many different directions, and we learned a lot of story development character wise. You're going to want to go back and watch Ahsoka again. I'm guaranteeing that because so much ties in to Ahsoka, and yeah, I just can't wait for an Ahsoka season 2 possibly, where we get to explore some of those other things that we saw in the Rebels series. So yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. We're watching the Rebels series again. But again, The Force Awakens debuting their teaser trailer today in Star Wars history. Katie hasn't done much Star Wars recently, minus give my director advice on which show to watch after he finishes Mandalorian. Okay, all right, okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, after the Mandalorian. I mean, let's see, if it was my opinion on after the Mandalorian, I mean, hopefully they're going through and watching Book of Boba Fett in there, because you have that like Mando 2.5 happening, so you got to watch Book of Boba Fett in the middle of that before season 3 of Mandalorian. Otherwise, it's gonna jump into some things that you're gonna be like, okay, well, how did that happen? So remind them of that. That you got to throw a Book of Boba Fett in there in the middle of 2 and 3 in order to get the full story of the Mandalorian. But yeah, that's great. Yeah, I mean, I guess I would do Ahsoka after that one. I'm guessing, if they haven't watched Ahsoka either, so because that kind of goes all within that timeline there. So I did notice, I don't know when they did this, but I did notice that Ahsoka has been placed in the timeline order on Disney Plus. I don't know when they did that. I just kind of recently realized that today. So, but yeah, it has been placed in the proper area on Disney Plus. But yeah, the Force Awakens teaser trailer. Everyone remember that one? That one's it was a very short trailer, kind of just glimpses of certain scenes, and then you had that kind of finale with John Williams music. So 88 seconds long was that teaser, but a lot of cool footage from the film that actually made it into the film, with some surprise reveals, with some amazing lightsabers that we had never seen before on screen, and TIE fighters being back with a very cool twist look to them, shiny and new. But yeah, a lot of amazing key moments in that. I love the way that trailer started out, with Andy Serkis's voice as Snoke. There has been an awakening. Have you felt it? Which really tied into that title of the movie, The Force Awakens. So, wondering what that awakening was going to be. A lot of us thought that Luke Skywalker was going to be a big part of The Force Awakens, which ended up not being the case at all. And we're really looking into the awakening of new characters, and the Force coming into play with these other characters. So, but that first scene, which was a desert planet, which, everybody was like, oh, is this Tatooine? Are we going back to Tatooine again? But it wasn't. It was a different planet. Yeah, so you kind of just see that desert, and then all of a sudden, John Boyega pops up in mostly Stormtrooper gear. We can totally tell that, even though we don't see his helmet. We don't know that the Stormtrooper gear looks different at this moment. We do find out very quickly that it is a different look for the Stormtroopers. But the body armor, again, looking very similar to that Stormtrooper. So we knew it was Stormtrooper armor. And he looks very panicked. So we're kind of curious as to why this character is kind of scared in this moment. Very sweaty, don't know why. Is this because he's on a desert planet? What's the reason? But not clear if who he is as a Stormtrooper, like where he is in the Stormtrooper line. Is he a new Stormtrooper? Is he an old Stormtrooper? Is he a spy in Stormtrooper armor? We'll know nothing about his character at that moment. So that was that first scene. A little bit. One of the other amazing parts of the trailer was the BB-8 scene. A new droid, something that we've never seen before. The way BB-8 moves, completely different. Handed out to those droid builders that have created amazing BB units around and actually work, right? And we can even buy them now at the Droid Depot on Batu and actually have our own BB units and them working properly, which when you first see it, you're like, there's no way that's a real thing. There's no way that actually works. I know nothing about any type of engineering at all. And I was like, there's no way that that's real. And to come to find out that was actually real was amazing. And it was just something that everybody knew right away. They wanted a BB. I don't know why I don't have a BB unit as of yet. I think it's just space at this point in time. Always told myself I was never going to get into buying a lot of the droids at Droid Depot, which I pretty much have not because of space. And I do have the CSL one, obviously. I have SK, but I don't have any other ones. But BB-8, definitely, you know, if I had the spare money and the space, I would probably get one like right away. And then we saw that scene of the actual stormtroopers with the helmets, which different sizes. So this kind of, you know, went opposite of what we've known about stormtroopers, being standard height, all almost the same, but, you know, different sizes, shapes. You know, come to find out, we have female stormtroopers a little bit later. We didn't see that from the trailer, but Captain Phasma coming into play. So this was really cool to see diversity within stormtroopers. You saw that. I remember when I first saw that, I was thinking to myself, so it wouldn't be that crazy now if I actually got into getting 501st armor, because if I got a first order stormtrooper armor, it doesn't matter if I'm short, because I'm not too short to be a stormtrooper. You know, as we all kind of realized, there was always that standard height for stormtroopers, which was always funny that, you know, you never could be a stormtrooper if you were only, you know, this tall or that tall. But that scene really kind of took that away. So I love that. The first order troopers, kind of some of my favorites just because of that. We get our first glimpse of Daisy Ridley in that trailer as well. So two of the main characters, John Boyega, Daisy Ridley, on this desert planet as well. We didn't really know her role at this time. We just see her, that she's a great pilot. She's on the speeder. So it kind of almost harkens back to everything that we've seen so far, from Luke being a great pilot to Anakin being a great pilot. You know, who is she? Is she going to carry on that role? Is she a Skywalker? I know that was one of the things that I thought. I thought that she was either going to be a Skywalker, basically being Han and Leia's daughter, or I thought she was going to be a Kenobi. That was, you know, one of my big hopes for that was Kenobi. I'm happy with the way it ended up. Honestly, happy the way it ended up. But that was kind of my hope. I knew that they probably were not going to go with the Han and Leia daughter thing, because they didn't. I knew that they weren't going to tie it too much to what we knew from the Legends series. But yeah, really cool speeder that we saw there, with Daisy Ridley zooming through the desert there. We get our first glimpse of Oscar Isaac. You know, all the main characters in this trailer, just glimpses of Oscar Isaac in an X-Wing. Don't know anything about his character at all. Like, is he a main part of the rebellion? I mean, it can't be really the rebellion. We know that, but he does have a symbol on his helmet. You see that. But in an X-Wing, helmet's a little bit different, suits are a little bit different, but still looking cool in action there in that X-Wing. And then we actually see those X-Wings a little bit different also, shooting across the surface there of that lake, which we find out later is Takodana, but we don't know that at the time. But really cool scene. We've never seen X-Wings in surface attacks really until this moment. So really cool to actually see X-Wings in a surface formation. You know, this is something I think everybody agrees that we want more of in a Rogue Squadron movie or whatever, with X-Wings, you know, dogfighting down on the surface of planets and so forth. So love that scene as well. And then last but not least, our other final main character that we get a glimpse of, Kylo Ren and his amazing lightsaber that we saw for the first time, the crossguard lightsaber, igniting in that forest, wintry forest planet. You know, we see the two crossguards ignite, and then the actual igniting of the main blade, which was amazing. And then, of course, bringing us all back together to the original trilogy. You know, we're seeing somewhat of stormtroopers. We're seeing similar types of planets that are snow, desert, everything like that. We're seeing X-Wings in a way. And then we see a ship that is familiar to us all, that have grew up on Star Wars, that we know that this is definitely Star Wars. The Millennium Falcon comes into play with that signature J.J. Abrams lens flare that we came to know and love from his movies. But that Millennium Falcon just bursting into the screen. And then that one iconic image that I know I have as a wallpaper on my work computer of the Millennium Falcon flying towards the screen with the X-Wing, the TIEs coming at them across the desert. So we see TIE fighters as well, looking a little bit different. But and we see the Millennium Falcon a little bit different. Because why? The last time we saw the Millennium Falcon, the dish got broken off. Lando Calrissian broke that off in Return of the Jedi, so the dish looks different. A little bit different for the Millennium Falcon with that dish. So I love the continuity of that, just that little change. We know why that dish is different. It's so amazing to be able to see that. Still missing, replaced with that rectangular box-like dish, which was just awesome to see. So I just loved this trailer. 88 seconds of pure amazing Star Wars that just gave us that glimpse of what was to come. A year later, we had to wait a whole another year after this teaser came out. Or no, not a whole another year. It came out in a couple months, right? Yeah. Yeah, this was not a year early. 2014 was when The Force Awakens came out. Right? We didn't have this. This was not a year earlier. I'm pretty sure. Force Awakens came out in 2014. No, it was a year earlier. The Force Awakens came out in 2015. Man, it was a year before. We got the teaser a whole year before. I was gonna say, I was thinking a year before, but I was like, that can't be right. A year and a month before. Wow, I can't believe that we got the teaser that much in advance. I can't believe that. But yeah, it came out in 2015. I don't know why that just didn't sink in, that we got that teaser trailer over a year in advance. We got those shots. So that early on, all those shots made it into the film. We heard the iconic John Williams music as well, which was awesome to be able to see. So I don't know if you love the Force Awakens trailer as much as I did, but I was ready. I was excited for Star Wars. This was first thing we've seen of Disney taking over Lucasfilm, and I was ecstatic. I was happy. And the movie didn't disappoint. The movie was amazing. Force Awakens was amazing. Definitely number 2 of the 3 of the sequel trilogy for me. By far. Was just awesome. So much about that movie was just great. Yeah, so that was one thing that happened today in Star Wars history. So the other little moment, I was gonna play it. I don't know if I'm allowed to play the trailers. So I know there's just all these rules and things, and I don't know any of these things as far as copyright and all that stuff. But you would think that the trailer is public knowledge. I was gonna throw it up there and play it, but you guys can all find it pretty easy, right? So you should be able to play it. So you can watch it a little bit later. It's very easily accessible on YouTube. So go look that up. Revisit the Force Awakens trailer, the teaser trailer, that is, and have some fun watching that. Another thing that happened today in Star Wars history was in 1977. So we are on the back end of A New Hope coming out, which we just know is Star Wars. It's a success. George Lucas is ready to make us another movie, a sequel. So today, also in Star Wars history, today in 1977, George Lucas began the story treatment for The Empire Strikes Back. So this was the first written treatment that for The Empire Strikes Back, and a lot of it was similar to what we now know. I'm going to go ahead and throw up this actual first page of the treatment from George Lucas right there. So that is the official First page of the 1977 story treatment for Empire Strikes Back. One of the interesting things about that is the treatment was 19 pages long. 19 pages long. There is a book. I don't know anything about this book, and I don't know if anybody knows about this book, but it's called The Vault. The Vault actually had four. I think it was the first 4 pages. Yeah, the first 4 pages of that 19-page treatment printed, and this was the first page. And if you kind of, it's hard to read George Lucas's handwriting, but online you can find it, and you can see where some people have translated it. But you can see November 28th, 1977 is dated there, from the Empire Strikes Back, a story treatment by George Lucas says there as well. And if you read like the first 4 pages that you can find online, and the copies of those, very, very similar to what we saw ending up being in The Empire Strikes Back, at least on the planet Hoth, because really the first 4 pages that were written don't even get us off of the planet Hoth. So it does have that Wampa battle that takes place in there, and some interesting things are slightly different. Yeah, it's an amazing thing to kind of take a look at and really see that from that first day that George Lucas wrote that treatment, it carried through to the movie as far as what it was. So everything that he envisioned from the beginning, with not many tweaks to that storyline. Ben saying about the trailer, by the way, it was so exciting to see the trailer when it came out. I think we went to see a movie just to see the trailer. I'm pretty sure I did that too. I know I did that like insane for the prequels when they came out. I remember seeing the trailer alone, I think 3 or 4 times in the first weekend the trailer was released, when The Phantom Menace came out. I don't think I did the same thing with The Force Awakens, and I think I actually stayed for the movies that it came out with The Force Awakens, rather than just buying a ticket for the trailer, which is what I did for The Phantom Menace. But I'm pretty sure we actually stayed for the movies for The Force Awakens, but I can't remember what the movies were, but I'm pretty sure I did. That got me to see a movie that I really wouldn't have otherwise seen, but I wanted to go and get just to see the trailers. So yeah, I remember doing that as well. At least for The Force Awakens. I don't think I did it for The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, but I mean, The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker, I saw the trailers at Star Wars Celebration, so, before anybody else. So didn't really have to go to the theater to see that, because I saw it on a big screen anyway. So, and that's pretty much since then. I think that's why I haven't gone, because most of the trailers that I've seen for Star Wars have been at Star Wars Celebrations, and we get the release before anybody else. So, yeah, I think that's why I've never really seen any and paid a ticket for anything else. But yeah, so 1977, Empire Strikes Back, George Lucas began the story treatment for that. So very important time period for The Empire Strikes Back, as well as The Force Awakens today in Star Wars history. So that is it for that. Let's move on to some amazing... let's go ahead and stop sharing here. And I'm also going to change my camera view for a minute. Get a little bit clearer of a picture. A little bit of a different angle there. But anyway, yeah, so we got some gifts that have been coming out. StarWars.com actually came out with a gift guide for 2023. Again, there's a lot of Black Friday deals going on. You can see those at StarWars.com. Well, I took some advantage of those gift deals. I went online and did some Etsy shopping with some patches, and for my jacket from Mosh Eisley. I'm still having a hard time finding like the patches that I want, though, and I don't know if there's any custom like places out there, or if anybody knows anybody that makes any cool where you can take an image and make patches out of them or buttons out of them. If you know anybody on Etsy that does any of that kind of stuff, please let me know, because I'm really struggling trying to find some like buttons and patches for Star Wars bands. Star Wars bands is like the main thing. Obscure to the most popular ones, but I do have a couple that I've found, and I got those coming to me. There's a couple that I don't know how they're going to work, but yeah. So, and I have some already from conventions and things, so I'll be throwing those on there as well. Also looking for real world bands, patches and buttons of real world bands that are Star Wars named. For instance, Blues Harvest is a band from London, I think, which I saw at London Celebration, and I got some patches from them, so I'm going to be throwing those on there. And then I have some buttons and things from some other bands as well. So, and if you know any cool Star Wars themed named bands, or any bands that have any cool logos that are Star Wars themed that I can throw on there as well, drop me a line. Let me know some of those things, because yeah, I want to try to get as much as I can thrown on that jacket before February. But yeah, but I bought some stuff on Etsy. Went to I got some sunglasses from Diff Sportswear, Diff Eyewear. They had some sales going on, so on their Star Wars frames. If you don't know, I don't know if it's ended yet or not. It may have been the last day yesterday, but they were 50% off, which was great. So I bought 3 more pair of Diff Eyewear. One of them being Star Wars themed, the Darth Vader lenses. Actually, that's the one I found on Etsy. Was the Max Rebo patch. Yeah, I'm looking for like Figure and Deanne. I would love to get some Gaia and Sandro stuff, buttons or patches, but I'm sure people would have to I'd have to get them like custom made or something, and I just don't know anybody that can like custom make. I know that like there's places that you can like take images. For instance, like when I went on Star Cruiser, I did the poker chips. And I made an image, and I like kind of put the image on, and they were printed and all that. I'm sure somebody's got to kind of do the same thing for like buttons and maybe patches. So I'm looking for something kind of like that, so I can just maybe find an image that I like, have it put on there, sent to me, so that I can throw that on the jacket, that kind of stuff. So so if you know any, or if you come across anybody, any suggestions, or know anybody that does any of that, please send me a message. Let me know so I can give some local homemade shops some love and spread the wealth a little bit. So yeah. So so I'm looking for that. But working on that. Got my Diff sunglasses. You'll probably see me do those if you see some live streams coming up. I'll be wearing those in the next couple days. I've already been sporting my Marvel ones. I got Iron Man lenses that are pretty cool. So, but Diff Eyewear, amazing, so great. Their sunglasses are, and yeah, they're not that expensive, especially when they do the 50% off. So, really great. Wanted to take advantage of the Roosevelts, but no Star Wars discounted shirts. So, but I would love to get another Roosevelt shirt. Even a Marvel. There was like nothing Marvel discounted, or I really am mad at myself for not buying the Indiana Jones one. So, but yeah, I'd love to get some more shirts for some cruise wear for my cruise in January. That's coming up very quickly. But yeah, so there's a lot of Black Friday deals that are extended out, some till through December. So take advantage of those. But StarWarsGot.com also had cool gift ideas, and they had a lot of things like posted on there. And some of them I had never seen. I don't know if they came out a while ago or if they're new, but I was really excited about some of these things. And some of them probably are going to make me make some big purchases, because as you probably know, every time I talk about video games, I'm not a big gamer. I don't really have a gaming system. I've been debating this back and forth of getting a gaming system, because, there's so many games out there, Star Wars, that I would love to play, and I don't have the ability to play them. Some of which being Jedi Survivor and I love playing retro games. I have the means to play those. I have those on my PC, and I can play those with some emulators and things, and still do that. And I still have my old Nintendo Wii with Force Unleashed on it, and I'll pull that out every now and then. So I have fun with those. But it would be cool to have like games on a system where I can just pull them up rather than pull them on my PC and emulate them. And that is where this came into play. Oops, sorry about that. My bad, hit the wrong button. I saw this and it got me really excited. Makes me almost want to buy a Nintendo Switch. So this I saw, the Star Wars Heritage patch for the Nintendo Switch, which has some of my favorite games. And including the Force Unleashed is on there as well, which I already have anyway, but the Force Unleashed is on there. Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy, Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast. So Kyle Katarn in two of his best games. I love that. Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. Republic Commando, which I love, is the first-person action Delta Squad game, which was amazing. And Star Wars Racer, our Nintendo Star Wars Racer game, the pod racing game. Love that. So all 7 of these games in one for the Nintendo Switch. So this makes me want to buy a Nintendo Switch now. Yeah, it's just like I'm just like literally just because of this makes me want to buy a Nintendo Switch to get these classic games. So yeah, I don't know if you have a Switch or if you know about that Heritage Pack, but if you like vintage Star Wars games, that is a way to play them. To get that. I also saw this, which again, I like practical Star Wars items. And this I thought was really cool, and I don't know where these popped up and when these came about, but Star Wars themed knife set, and these are like really good chef knives, by the way. I don't know how many of you out there are into cooking and into knives, but I am. I have some really good Japanese chef's knives, but these are like Beskar themed, which you can tell. I mean, you can tell by the blades how it's got that wavy look to the Beskar. But this is by Headley and Bennett. They're really good brand of chef's knives, by the way. They're not the best, but they're not the worst either. They're pretty good out there. So I don't know how much this set cost. I could probably find out in a moment. But there's a chef's knife, a bread knife, and a utility knife, which I could always use a bread knife, honestly. And I have a chef's knife, and I have a the other one. I'm dropping my names, but the utility knife. I have the utility knife as well, or paring knife is kind of what I call it and have it as. But mine's probably a little bit smaller than this one. It's more of a paring knife, but yeah, like I love this set. So looks like the Beskar Mandalorian armor. So but 67 layered folded damastic steel blades. These are forged in Japan. So I like Japanese knives. I think those are more my cup of tea as far as styles of kitchen knives. So I'm a big fan of Japanese knives. Yeah, they have the Imperial cog on them. I don't know where. It's hard to see from this picture. But and the handles are even got that like gray and brown looking from like the Mando's armor. So I think these are amazing. So let me see how much they are. I didn't look to see how much they were, but $295 for the set, which isn't that bad. That's actually how much I paid for my current blade set. So So it's not that bad. Not that bad. Yeah, so really cool chef's knives there. If you're a cook and you are a Star Wars fan, this is an amazing thing to add to your collection. I might actually have to do that, but maybe I'll hint it as an anniversary gift. Who knows? But anyway, those are pretty cool. And then the other thing that I saw, which was pretty cool, and I was like, ugh, they're for kids. But I would totally have these if they were in adult format, and like try to force my wife to get these on our bedding as our bedding at some point. But the Star Wars bed set, the Lego Star Wars bed set. I mean, that's what's really cool about these is they're Lego style. Lego minifig, organic sheets, sheet set and pillowcases by Pottery Barn Kids. So they're kid sheets, unfortunately. Why don't they make adult versions of these? But look really cool. Yeah, I love these. But yeah, won't be getting these. I don't have any kids, so. But I thought they were cool too. So if you have kids and you want to run out and dress up their room as some cool Star Wars, that is out there as well. And then also, this just came out today. This last little bit of merchandise, and I literally just saw this before I came on, so I didn't really know too much about these. But these are, and I think they're coming in two formats. I'm gonna read it in a second because pretty sure they came in two formats. But this is new Clone Trooper figures. So Hasbro is gonna have 6-inch Black Series of these, as well as 3 3/4-inch vintage collections of these Clone Troopers. And you can see the Clone Troopers. You can tell a little bit where these are coming from the Clone Wars series, season 7. The last bit of clones that we saw there. So spring of 2024, it doesn't say which month, but spring, for Target exclusive Black Series, you have Clone Trooper Lieutenant and 332nd Ahsoka Clone Trooper pack, based on the 501st Division that pledged loyalty to Ahsoka. So during the Siege of Mandalore. So looking really cool there. Those are going to the Black Series, are coming out in the spring of 2024. And apparently the set is really based on the appearance in the Ahsoka live action series. So we saw that in the flashbacks, World Between Worlds scenes with Anakin, the second part of that during the Siege of Mandalore. So that's where these are actually coming from. So they have removable helmets. There's actually an alternate Phase 1 clone helmet that you can actually place on the head of the trooper. They have the DC-15S blaster carbine and the DC-15A blaster rifles, which you can see clearly there. So those are awesome. And then summer of 2024, you're going to get the vintage collection Phase 2 Clone Trooper 4-pack. So, which includes the customized helmets in tribute to Ahsoka. So yeah, and that's a 4-pack that's coming the summer in a vintage set. So don't know where. That you'll be able to get from Hasbro Pulse and Shop Disney, actually. So with Shop Disney, I get a discount. So I might be doing the vintage set. Don't know, but we'll have to see if that gets a thing. But yeah, so no. Pre-orders actually start tomorrow on Target.com and HasbroPulse.com at 1 p.m. For for both of them. So, and then a little bit later, you'll be able to get it on shopdisney.com as well. So, yeah. So, yeah, it looks like the Black Series is a 2-pack. Black Series is a 2-pack. And then the vintage pack is a 4-pack. I would rather get the 4-pack, the vintage, honestly. I'm not big into the Black Series 6 inches. But I like the 3 3/4 is my go-to for action figures. So yeah. So that kind of comes out if you're big into Star Wars merch. Those are some new merch. The Troopers being brand new, literally just released today on StarWars.com, that news. So I don't know if anybody knew about that, but there you go. There you go. First look at that. But yeah. So let's see here. Wow, I'm 40 minutes in. 40 minutes in. So, and I haven't even talked about my crucial character pick of the week for Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith. So going back to the Revenge of the Sith. This is my second go-around pick for Revenge of the Sith. So as you know, I do these picks now twice a month. Because I'm still picking like stuff from the animated series and going through some characters. A couple weeks ago, I picked from Resistance the droids in general, because there's so many droids. Animated series always comes up with some really cool droids, and I had picked one of the droids from the Ace Pilots, the T3K10 droid from what was her name? I can't remember whose one it is. It's the female Ace Pilot. I can't remember her name, but cool modified like worker droid. That it was her droid, which I really liked the difference of that. And that droid made it through like the entire series and was always in there. So really cool droid. I love droids, by the way. If you don't haven't watched this, you would know that I love droids. I adore droids. But last time I did a Revenge of the Sith pick, I picked Padme's mother, actually, as a crucial character pick, which I picked that character because that character really wasn't in the movie. Honestly, that was like one of the reasons why I picked it. I thought it was like one of those cool, crucial characters that really didn't get to explore on screen. We saw a lot of deleted scenes of Padme's family, and we don't have any. We just don't have a lot from you read about more of the characters in the books, and you explore Padme's family a lot, and I think they're a very crucial part. And Jobal Noberi was, I thought, an amazing character just from what we got from her story-wise. Seeing her in the deleted scenes, behind the scenes, and so forth. So that was like a really big background, crucial character pick that, like Padme's family in general, but mostly her mom, Jobal Noberi. Because I have a feeling that like you see her, or we would see her on screen, and you really learn a little bit more about where she comes from. Padme comes from. So very strong character, just like her daughter. So so that was my crucial character pick, like one of my favorite major characters. But as far as major characters go, who I feel is the most crucial character of Revenge of the Sith, basically when it all comes down to it, for the Republic, for the light side, for the good guys, if this character didn't exist, the movie would have ended up a lot differently. And Star Wars in general, going forward, would have ended up a lot differently. And that would have to be probably one of the greatest Jedi. I feel is the second greatest Jedi of all time. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan Kenobi I mean, right up there at the top. But Obi-Wan Kenobi is the most crucial character of Revenge of the Sith. Because really, thank you for joining. Whoever just joined in, I see another person joined in. But Obi-Wan Kenobi, yes, in the beginning of the film, people argue that if it wasn't for Anakin, Obi-Wan would have died in the beginning. But honestly, if Obi-Wan would have died, if whatever would have happened, if they never even went on that ship, honestly, that whole beginning of the film really didn't matter, because Palpatine would have somehow finagled his way past all of that. So let's just put that all out of existence. That let's just say Obi-Wan never went on the ship to go chase after Palpatine, whatever. Put that aside, that he got taken out by Dooku in the beginning. Put that aside. Going forward from the movie, he was an integral part of that story. And really, when you throw in the Clone Wars Season 7 tie-ins and Obi-Wan's story there, you really see how much of a crucial part of that story he was. Starting with going to Utapau, taking out Grievous, basically the general of the clone army, going after Anakin. First going into the archives, seeing the footage of Anakin, changing out the message for all the Jedi to not come back. So he was the reason why Jedi went into hiding. If it weren't for him, yeah, maybe Yoda would have did it. But Obi-Wan did it. So, and then going after Anakin. Yoda, he failed. He couldn't take out Sidious, but Anakin took out Anakin. Obi-Wan took out Anakin. Stowing away aboard Padme's shuttle, defeating Anakin. If he didn't defeat Anakin, if he would have died, would Vader have been stronger? Would Vader have ever? We saw how that survival, that confrontation going forward in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series again, may have had a little bit more of a conflict with Vader in the back of his mind of, did I do the right thing and leave? But yeah, he saved Padme's life. If it weren't for him being there, Padme would have died, because she would have still stood up to Anakin, regardless of Obi-Wan being there and Anakin's rage. She still would have walked away. Anakin probably would have killed her in rage, which then there would have been no A New Hope, no Princess Leia, no Luke Skywalker. But yeah, I think there's just so many reasons why Obi-Wan Kenobi is got to be the most crucial character for Revenge of the Sith. He is the reason why things continued on. He was part of the reason why the help in getting them into hiding, watching over Luke, learning how to commune with Qui-Gon. So many things, so much hope came from Obi-Wan Kenobi. So definitely Obi-Wan Kenobi, my crucial character for Revenge of the Sith. I think the main character that if he was not there, if he did not do some of the things that he did in that movie, the whole course of Star Wars history would have changed. It's obvious it would have changed. But yeah, that is my crucial character pick. Maybe you agree with me. Maybe you don't. It is almost the end of the month. We got one more month till the end of the year. One more month till the end of the year. And then we are into 2024 almost. But December, we're going to have some fun in December. I think there's some people coming to visit. hopefully I can hook up with them when they come into town. But yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. November's been fun. I went to Magic Kingdom today. Hadn't been to Magic Kingdom in a long time. I will say that if you were a Disney person and you come to the parks and you want to take a day and go to Magic Kingdom, but you don't like the crowds, go on a day where there is a Christmas party. You can pretty much get everything done during the day. There is no wait times. I literally walked in at 11 o'clock and I went straight to Space Mountain. 15-minute wait time, Space Mountain. After Space Mountain, went to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It said 45 minutes. I was on it in 20. So 20-minute wait time for Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Went to Small World because, you just got to submit yourself to that song every once in a while. 5-minute wait time. Went over to Big Thunder Mountain. 10-minute wait time. Pirates of the Caribbean, 5-minute wait time. Yeah, every ride was empty. Just pretty much walked on. Katie agrees. Those are the best days to be in Magic Kingdom. That is so right. I probably could have rode a lot more rides, but I saw a lot of people that I hadn't seen in a really long time. I, for the first time, never gotten these. Can't believe I've never gotten these because it is probably one of, you know what? I woke up at 7 o'clock this morning and my wife was like, "Are you going to get a Tron?" And honestly, at that point in time, I didn't even know if I was going to go to Magic Kingdom. I should have just gotten it anyway, but I didn't. So, but I've ridden Tron before. But if I would have jumped on that, I probably could have gotten it easy, but I didn't. So I didn't get into the virtual queue, and I didn't want to buy Lightning Lane, so it's okay. I'll ride it again. I wasn't bent on riding that, but I totally could have if I would have had time easy to do that. But I did get the cheeseburger egg rolls. If you've never had those in Adventureland, I can't believe I've never had them. You hear so much about them, and every time I walk by, the line is super long, or they're sold out, or whatever. And they did run out of the sauce, which I'm gonna have to get them again because I hear the sauce is amazing. The egg rolls were outstanding. The cheeseburger egg rolls alone by themselves were outstanding. So, yeah, if you've never gotten those at Adventureland, definitely get those in Adventureland. Yeah, I mean, like I walked into Starbucks, there was nobody anywhere on property. Went up to Friar's Nook and I got my bacon, cheese, and sour cream tater tots. So much. Katie never had them, right? Yeah, the line is always ridiculous. Well, go on a day where there's a special event or a party at night and nobody will be in the park because they close at 6 o'clock. And you'll be able to go. Literally, I walked up and I think there was 4 or 5 people ahead of me in line, but it goes like that. Like I said, they were out of the sauce because I did wait and they didn't have any more sauce. But yeah, those things are amazing. And actually they gave me the wrong ones first. So they gave me the pizza ones and I took a bite of the pizza one and I almost decided to keep those because they were really good as well. But and I think you can mix and match. So if it's just one of you, I didn't know this till after I ordered, but I heard somebody else go up there and say, "Can I get 1 pizza, 1 cheeseburger?" Because there's 2 in an order, and they'll do that because they're the same price. So yeah, an event night day, definitely. I mean, it's Magic Kingdom. I honestly, I think I'm gonna like wait for event days and do that from now on. But next week I'm gonna be going to Hollywood Studios again on Tuesday, I think. So I'll be heading to the parks to Hollywood Studios, and yeah, going back to Galaxy's Edge again. So, but I broke out old vintage Magic Band today. My old May the 4th from 2019, I think, is this Magic Band that I have from the May the 4th Be With You with the Stormtroopers on it. Had that today, so hadn't worn that in a while. But yeah, it was a good day. Had a lot of fun riding all those rides. But I think that's about it today. I think that's it. Hope everyone has a great week. is having a great week and has a great week. Thank you for joining in. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, whoever else. There was 3 people joining in. So thank you very much for all of you joining in. Please subscribe if you haven't already. That helps me. I'm getting up there. I want to get to this 50 subscribers so that I can go live anytime I want on YouTube, because it'd be a little bit easier to keep everything on YouTube rather than have different accounts like Instagram and so forth. And I like going live on Instagram, but I'd rather go live on YouTube. But I can't go live unless I get 50 followers, unless I schedule a live through a different app, not straight through YouTube, which is how I do this. But thanks, Ben. Thank you for looking out for those patches. Yeah, any look out for those patches, because I am just having a struggle time looking for that stuff, and anything where I can custom make, whatever. I did find some places to custom make, but I just don't know how long it's going to take, and just trying to narrow that down. So, which I'm going to be doing in the next week or so, and I just got to work on, all that cut and paste stuff and getting that together. So, but appreciate that. Thank you all for joining in. Hope everyone has a great week again. Until next time, watch some Star Wars, listen to some Star Wars, play some Star Wars, read some Star Wars, do something Star Wars. But most importantly, remember, may the stars light your way. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you for joining in.